Hello everyone, this is Ali Reza. Today is a very important day because first of all, Unity will have a live stream in 6 hours about their announcement in GDC, and many people are talking with each other about what can be that announcement. There will very big news going on around the world about uh, events inside GDC. One of them was that Unreal Editor announced that they are free now. Hmm. Well, I thought that GDC is a good time for me to showcase my project that me and David Stewart was working on it for quite some time now. And it will be a video tutorial series, I can speak, for memberships. And the membership will be cheap, something like $10, $20 per month for each chapter. So per month, per chapter. Uh, and the chapter one is ended, and this is the result of end of chapter one. This is what you will see at the end of the chapter one. So what do we have here? What we have here is two editor stuff, eh, and a grid node system for navigation in 3D. Every video you saw out there on YouTube till now spoke about generating your grids on 2D. Well, how about 3D? This is the 3D version, and the nodes will be generated procedurally. It has lots of problems because it's procedural. We have zero control, blah blah, but let's take a look at it first. So we will generate nodes every 3 meters with slope for 45 degrees, 15 zones in X and Z, and in range I will change it to 10. No, 5 is good enough. So let's create our nodes first. It got near 1 second total to create our nodes. I have a script on my main camera that first shows me the number of nodes, 3,400, and also a script that lets me, as you see, draw some gizmos by OpenGL or using the handles of Unity. Okay. Also, I'm using another GL, but for that I need to load some data. The thing that you are seeing right now is just the nodes being created, and as you can see, this building has multiple levels, and we are creating those nodes on all the levels. Okay. Now, how about I show you more results? Well, if I select a node now, this is what I have. Ouch, 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 what's going on? Well, the thing is that my Unity is not happy because I didn't load any data, okay? And I have 0 nodes there. And by that, I mean 0 lookup tables. And because of that, I couldn't draw some data there, okay? So let's create our nodes again. But this time, I will load my data. It will get near 3 seconds, as you can see, for loading lots of data for 3,400 nodes. One of them is the connection between the nodes. Now if I select a node, you see not only the zone that this node is sitting in, but also the neighbors of that node, and not only that. I have the ability to first let me do this on my camera script. Select none, please, and select a node. Bam. So not only, let me choose this one, it's better. Okay, not only I'm seeing the node, its neighbors, and the zone, but also visibility that works hand in hand with my neighbor nodes. So all these nodes that are drawn in cyan are the nodes that I considered neighbor nodes. And these blue lines show that, hey, these nodes are near nodes that I can have line of sight from the node point to the node point. Okay. Now, we have collected another type of data, and this is this one. This shows me that if an agent stays here and wants to look for a cover point, these points are a good cover points. The red ones are for crawling, the white ones for crouching, and the yellow ones for full standing points. I didn't optimize this script yet. As I said, this is the end of chapter 1, and I put it as an exercise for the viewers to optimize these guys. For example, when we have a point for full stand-up height covering, why should I decide to have these two? So that's an exercise for our viewers anyway. Also, on my make camera, I can choose neighbors, and this is again being drawn by OpenGL. Okay, and this shows me the relationship between the nodes. Now this scene that you are watching is ripped by other guys, not me. I'm not good at ripping things from games, but this was ripped from COD maps. I think it was COD, I'm not sure. Call of Duty. And because of that, because of the difference between the two engines as Unity and COD, we have issues here. For example, these nodes that I'm moving my mouse on, these are sitting inside the geometry. But this wall has no face below it. So I could not check if this node sits inside the geometry or not. It would fail. So what I can do is that I can select that node, not you, the one below you. Select it, please. There we go. And delete it. And it will be removed. The map will be saved and reload, and it will show your neighbors that, hey, there's no connection there. Now I can add another node here beside the wall, and it will not only connect itself to the others, but also if I now select it and show the nodes, it will collect the whole new data set about the covering points for himself. Okay? So is that all? No, sir. We have added in chapter 1 a star implementation. So if I select it to none so that the pathfinding would be much more obvious for you guys, we have a target that is sitting there waiting for others to found him, and we have total of 50 agents all around the map, and these guys using a star on that node grid system to find their path toward this agent. If I play the game now, first of all, we have to wait for 3 seconds for the node data being generated again. But as you can see, these targets are finding their path toward this agent very fast. So if I move him around, you see these green dots that are agents find their paths again and again and again, okay, toward this agent that I'm moving around myself manually. Anyway, but I said it's working in 3D, am I not? Well, take a look. We have an agent here. If I zoom in, on top of the building, he is evaluating himself by that flashing white lines that you see, but not he's moving. Why? Because, well, there is no path for him to go down. He can just move around on top of the building. So if I move this guy here and watch this green dot, as soon as I move this agent on top of the building, he will start moving. Ready? Bam! He found his path and he's moving. Okay? Also, notice that the others are still following a path toward the last position they found an agent. Okay? So if I move the agent here, they will find their path. If I move him up and toward the side, they will still keep this thing as their final destination. So they will not stuck in the air for their pathfinding. But as soon as I move him down again to hit on the ground and another path being found, these agents will move. Also, these agents are wise enough to avoid any obstacle. So as you see, they will not penetrate this wall. and they will move around it. Okay? As you see, they will not penetrate any one of these walls, no matter what I try. And that is the result of our very first chapter. I'm posting constantly on my weblog about the process, and you can launch my weblog at unityai.net. I'm constantly posting about the things that I want to implement, the things that I'm implementing. And for example, you see that I spoke about benchmarking, and I got some unacceptable results, and then I tweaked it, and now we are talking about very acceptable result. And by that I mean that if you look at our benchmark, we have 4,700 times the path being found in 0 milliseconds. And of course, we have 1 millisecond, 2 milliseconds, sometimes as big as for time being 15, and that's 16. These are loading data, so the path finding is 16. Yeah, the biggest is 16 millisecond. Between 3,400 nodes, 16 millisecond for 50 agents at the same time. I would call it robust enough. But there are things that I don't like yet, and that is when the next chapter will come in. First, I want to be able to manipulate these nodes manually more. What do I mean by that? Well, let's take a look at this level of the building. If I can zoom inside, if I can work my way around it. There we go. There is a ramp here, okay, as you may see here. Now, if I select my node, if I go to continuous selection, that makes my job easier. This node has a neighbor here. This node has a neighbor here. But as soon as I select this guy, ouch, no. That was not what I wanted. Anyway, so as soon as I select this node on top, you'll see that everything stops. Although I have a node here, this node is not saying this node simply because of the way the procedural connection between the nodes for the neighbors work. And the line casting is being penetrated, so it won't accept him as a neighbor, as a possible neighbor for path finding. And that's the bad thing about the procedurally generating data. Don't get me wrong, it has its own benefits, it has its own usages. There are times that you may want to use it, but I want to have more control other than selecting and deleting and adding. And right now our nodes are completely uniquely distance generated. Well, 3,400 nodes for this map is too much. I could, for example, for this top of the building, put 5 nodes only, instead of 9 or 12 that is sitting there right now. In here, again, I would make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this would reduce the amount of the nodes. And on top of that, we have Unity Nav Mesh that is now free. Only you don't have access to, what was the name? You don't have access to this stuff, the jumping and off-mesh link. That was the thing that I wanted to address. So you don't have off-mesh links in free Unity, but the creation of the nav mesh is free now. So for this map, the nav mesh, oh, I need to make this guy static. The nav mesh creation for an agent with 0.3 bake, and bingo, we have our nav mesh. So why I shouldn't be able to use this system? And you see that it's having a good coverage everywhere. For example, even on those ramps that we had problems right now. If I can find it. There we go. you see a full connection between the ramp and the higher level there. Okay, he's coming up, he's connecting where my node failed. So by adding manual nodes in next chapter, we should be able to not only make our nodes more intelligent, but also uh, tweak our system so that the nodes will be used for more tactical decision makings, and the nav mesh will be used for the pathfinding and binding our node system to the nav mesh. That's for next chapter anyway. So if you want to keep up to date, follow my weblog at unityai.net and uh, be tuned, because in about 1.5 months or 1 month later, we will start pushing our videos in another website that is my personal weblog. It's not what you will see the video tutorials there. No, this is my weblog. We will push it on another website with David. And as I said, membership will be really cheap and accessible for per chapter. For example, if you are not interested in having the node-based, the grid-based system being procedurally made, you want to take a look at manually node creation and connection, then you can skip chapter 1, pay membership for only chapter 2 for 1 month and get the videos watched, etc. etc. So I hope you liked this video, and I wish to see you in my weblog and my YouTube channel. Have fun, everybody. Stay tuned for Unity's big announcement. I'm really stressed to see what it is all about. See you later. Bye.